Hi, you've seen headlines suggesting India's looking at an unprecedented coal shortage, that we have only XYZ number of days worth of coal left, that India is heading for a blackout. Now, this evening, we are going to unpack if that's true or just some good old headline writing. Are we staring at lights off? And if we are, how did we reach this point? For now, Maharashtra, Punjab, Rajasthan, Bihar, Kerala, Delhi, Andhra Pradesh, Jharkhand and Tamil Nadu have flagged possible power outages. Punjab, Bihar, Tamil Nadu and Rajasthan have rolling power cuts 6 to 14 hours. Maharashtra has shut down 13 thermal power plants, and in Punjab, 5 power plants have halted production. What is the main reason for all of this? A shortage of coal going into thermal power plants, which actually convert heat from coal into electricity. A thing to remember here, 70% of India's electricity comes from thermal power plants. Now, the centre agrees there is a shortage of coal, but it also says that the power supply situation is not very critical. It says information on the disruption of power supply is quote unquote misplaced. There is no crisis per se, but it's going to be touch and go for 6 months. We have coal reserves for 22 days and this will be ramped up. But the data, it says something else. And I'm now going to quote the Central Electricity Authority of India's daily update, and this one's from October 12th, and it shows that out of 135 thermal power plants in India, 116 have critically low coal supplies. These plants account for 86% of India's total generating capacity. On average, coal stocks have come down to 4 days. 18 power plants did not have enough stocks for even 1 day. Remember, they're supposed to hold 14 days worth of stock. So, one thing is clear, there is a shortage. Another thing to consider is that demand is also up. We are in fact consuming more than even pre-pandemic. Just look at these numbers. Now, of course, it surges each year around this time, but there is a combination of factors at play this year. The sowing season, higher temperatures, the economy springing back after months of shutdown. To be clear, there is no shortage in capacity to mine coal. Coal India Limited, that's run by the government, is the largest coal producing company in the world. And again, the numbers show that we are mining more than even pre-pandemic years. Then what's the problem? Is it transportation? Is it stocking? Is it bad judgment and planning?
Number 1. The centre says a prolonged and unpredictable monsoon season has left many coal mines submerged underwater, and it will take time for them to dry out. Now this happens every year, but it rained through September and even a few days in October, so the situation is worse this time. Number 2. Transportation issues. Again, not unique to this year. We have a limited number of freight trains running on tracks with limited capacities between mines and plants. The railways have been working on increasing capacity over the years, but progress in expanding dedicated freight corridors is slow, as is the case with most large-scale infrastructure work. Number 3. Improper foresight, lack of planning, and stocking of coal by power plants are being seen as the main culprits. The surge in demand as the economy reopens was predicted, but power producers chose to play it safe in case another COVID wave hit. So they didn't do enough to stock coal at their end in April, May and June. India has also gradually reduced the amount of coal it imports for power generation. This means that we've more or less been putting all our eggs in one basket, domestic coal mining. So when it rains, for instance, instead of backup coal coming in through ports, you're looking at a crisis like the current one. Quite literally, the centre in 2017 and 2018 tried for zero coal imports, but it led to a similar shortage, so we resumed. And the same thing is happening now. On October 12th, the government was pushed to deviate from policy and asked power producers to import up to 10% of their necessary coal stocks. And number 5, there is a global energy crisis. The unseasonal rains in Indonesia, COVID-induced production cuts in Australia, and rising power demands in China means that there's a record high price tag on coal and fuel, which is another reason why India has reduced its coal imports even further this year. But there's no option left now but to import, even if that means paying through the nose.
Okay, now, apart from all of what Pallavi has said, we do want you to consider 2 more things: bureaucratic cobwebs and politics. The present coal crisis is being reduced to a centre versus state blame game. Most states that are flagging shortages are opposition states. They're also coal-bearing states. Their panic alarms are being read as a criticism of the centre. Now, on October 12th, the centre alleged that some state distribution companies were in fact receiving enough power but were still imposing power cuts anyway. Now, one more thing to remember: state-owned distribution companies or discoms, many in states that are now complaining of a shortage, actually owe money to power plants which in turn owe it to Coal India. There is also a concern among energy experts and climate activists that the current shortages will be used by the government to justify pushing for more commercial and private mining. Now, the signs are already there. On October 12th, the centre began the commercial auction of 88 coal mines across 10 states. State governments like Chhattisgarh are pushing for expedited clearance for new coal mines. This, of course, has prompted protests from communities that will be impacted the most, the Adivasis. This concern that this current crisis may be artificial to some extent is actually grounded in a pattern whereby there has been an easing of restrictions for private players when it comes to participating in coal block auctions. The last point I want you to consider is some good old bureaucratic red tape and cobwebs, mostly in the running of Coal India Limited. That's the spine of the supply side of things in many ways. Anil Swarup, the former coal secretary, has talked about CIL's internal crisis from years, from 2016-17. He has spoken about things like a public sector undertaking being pushed to invest in fertilizer plants. He's talked about mine managers being deputed to supervise toilet construction for Swachh Bharat instead of planning and excavating new mines. And of course, he's spoken about the CMD position being vacant since 2017, among many other things.
Since the power sector is still regulated by the government, the chances of this crisis touching you, the consumer, are not very high. Steps are being taken, such as augmenting supply, an interministerial team monitoring the supply to thermal plants on a daily basis. 15% power from central power plants is kept as unallocated power for times just like these. There is a go-ahead now for states to use this quota. Expediting production from new mines that already have requisite clearances. And the railways is boosting the number of rakes transporting coal to thermal power plants daily. So things should improve soon, in the short term. The long term, and whether you will see these headlines again, yes you will. Will India come to a standstill? More likely no. I'll stop here for today. Our aim at Newsworthy is to calmly give you the facts, the context, and the subtext to stories that are worth your time and attention. Stories like this one. If you found value in this video, if you understand the current crisis a bit better, do like and share the video. Leave a comment and tell us what you think. And if you can, do consider making a contribution to Newsworthy. It really keeps us going. The link for that is in the bio or in the description, depending on where you're seeing this. If you have been listening, thank you so much for your time today.